From the Millersville University Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Kyle Elliott here with the medium range forecast and video discussion issued on Monday, June 16th. Well, after a very cool, damp, and dreary start to the week, a more summer-like pattern is going to return during the middle and latter part of the week, and that's going to roll right through the weekend and really amp up by the time we get to early next week. So without further ado, let me start by taking a look at the Canadian model for 2 o'clock on Thursday. And what you'll notice is we are going to be dealing with a cold front that's going to be traversing the Commonwealth and the mid-Atlantic states from northwest to southeast from Thursday into Thursday night. Out ahead of that front, southwesterly flow is going to be pumping very warm and moist and humid and unstable air into the lower Susquehanna Valley, northern Maryland, and southeastern PA. And depending on the timing of this cold front, there could be some scattered showers and strong to severe thunderstorms that erupt along and just ahead of the front. You'll notice the Canadian model shows a very weak cold front in comparison to the European model, which shows a much stronger, more well-defined cold front moving through the area on Thursday. If the European's right and this front is much stronger, then there would be a much higher likelihood of showers and strong to severe thunderstorms, and the coverage of severe weather would likely be greater as well in comparison to the Canadian. However, a lot of this is going to depend on the timing of the cold front and just how much energy is able to sweep down into the mid-Atlantic states. Some of the numerical computer models are indicating that most of the upper level energy associated with this front is actually going to pass through southeastern Canada, New York State, and New England, and actually not drop southward into Pennsylvania. So really a lot of this is going to depend on just how much lift or upward motion that we get along the cold front, and then the timing of that front as well. If the front comes through Thursday afternoon and evening, the likelihood and coverage of severe weather would be greater. If the front comes through Thursday morning or Thursday night, I don't think it's going to be Thursday night, but it could be faster and come through on Thursday morning. Then scattered strong to severe thunderstorms would likely erupt over the lower Susquehanna Valley, but then really intensify as they move toward the I-95 corridor and in areas farther south and east. Either way you slice it, the main threat from these storms does appear to be locally damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour, heavy downpours, frequent lightning, and hail. I don't really see much of a tornado threat with this on Thursday, but again, this is still 4 days away, so I'll be finessing the forecast over the next couple of days. In the wake of that cold front, northwesterly winds are going to usher slightly drier air into the region, so dew points on Thursday will likely be in the low 70s out ahead of that front. But in the wake of that front, an area of high pressure should settle over the central Appalachians, and dew points should tumble back into the upper 50s to low 60s on Friday. It's still going to be seasonably warm with highs in the low to mid 80s. If you look at the European model, it does suggest that another disturbance is going to swing through the Commonwealth on Friday and trigger more showers and thunderstorms, especially across north central parts of the state. I'm not really buying that at this point. I think Friday just turns out to be a mostly sunny and pleasantly warm day with lower humidity. So a really nice end to the week. Coincidentally, Friday is the first day of astronomical summer, and in comparison to the first day of meteorological summer, it's definitely going to be feeling like the season on Friday. As we move into the upcoming weekend, we're going to start to see a pattern change here. This pattern of cooler weather over the eastern United States is going to transition into a pattern of much hotter and more humid conditions later in the weekend. And then next week, we're going to build this upper level jet stream ridge over the central and eastern United States, and that's going to act like a heat dome as the sinking air and subsidence below that ridge will lead to compressional warming. So I'll show you what that looks like here in the next couple of slides. Saturday, it's going to really be a transition day. Winds are going to turn southwesterly again. I don't really think we're going to have the high humidity yet on Saturday. Dew points will probably still be in the low to mid 60s, but temperatures should be back in the upper 80s by the time we get to Saturday afternoon. And then Sundays, when that higher humidity really comes back into the mid-Atlantic states, you really start to build that upper level ridge over the central and eastern United States. There's a weak surface high pressure system off the east coast of the United States as well, so the southwesterly flow behind that, originating from the southwestern Atlantic and the Gulf, is going to be drawing that oppressive humidity farther north into the mid-Atlantic states. The Euro's in good agreement as well, showing that surface high pressure system over the southwestern Atlantic. So I think by the time we get to Sunday, temperatures will be in the low 90s, dew points back around 70, and we could really be seeing our first heat advisory of the summer, really right at the start of the season. So expect heat indices by Sunday in the mid to upper 90s. So if you do have outdoor activities planned this weekend, especially during the second half of the weekend, make sure to take frequent breaks from the heat. Stay hydrated as well. Avoid alcoholic beverages and drink plenty of water and drinks with high in electrolytes. Also try to eat a diet high in fruits and vegetables when we get this kind of heat. It really just keeps your body hydrated. And as we move into early next week, then I think this heat is going to be even more amplified over the eastern United States. It wouldn't surprise me if some high temperatures Monday or Tuesday reach the mid 90s and heat indices approach or even exceed 100 degrees. So I'll touch more on that later this week, but just be aware that it looks like our first bona fide heat wave of the summer is going to begin later this weekend and then continue through the early and perhaps even middle part of next week. This is what it looks like in the upper levels of the atmosphere. You see this northward bulge in the jet stream over the central and eastern United States. And this large high pressure system or heat dome basically centered right over the Tennessee and Ohio river valleys, promoting those unseasonably hot and humid conditions as we move into next week. So as we take a look at the medium range forecast, partly sunny, warm and humid on Thursday with a chance of strong to severe thunderstorms, high 88. Mostly sunny and seasonable on Friday, high 84. Partly sunny and very warm, but still not too humid on Saturday, high 88. Well, that'll do it for this edition of the Medium Range Forecast. Tune back in next Monday for the latest edition. Until then, stay cool out there later this coming weekend and early next week.